We are being fed with a lot of new episodes of Season 6, and today we are going to analyze everything that we know about the episode 10, The Dark Castle, because it seems to be really interesting. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, because I'm going to keep you updated with all the news about Miraculous. So now let's get straight into the subject with the synopsis of the episode The Dark Castle. And basically what will happen in the episode is that Alex will celebrate her birthday with her friends and family. So this confirms that this is 1 year after the episode Timebreaker from season 1. And then Marinette gets the rabbit Miraculous back and she becomes a keeper of time for a few hours. So this is a new episode formula because we've never seen something like this in Miraculous, which makes me a lot more excited. But I also have a lot of questions about the whole episode because maybe there are some plot holes, maybe they are not. You can explain in the comments in case I'm wrong, so you can correct me in the comments. Can't just the old Barnix stay in the burrow? I mean, why does Marinette have to stay when there are a lot of other Barnixes? For example, in the London special we've seen 3 Barnixes staying in the burrow. The Barnix which we know, the small one, the bigger one which we've seen in the episode Cat Blanc, and then the oldest one which was 72, if I remember well, or something like this, 72, 74, something in that range. Either way, that's not important. The thing is that we've seen 3 Barnixes in the same time in the burrow, so why can't one of them stay while the young Barnix is at her birthday? Also, in the first episode of season 5, we have seen Monarch with the bunny Miraculous being in the burrow while another Barnix was in the burrow. So it is confirmed that 2 different people who have the bunny Miraculous can stay in the burrow in the same time. Anyway, my question is simply why can't another Barnix simply stay in the burrow during that span of time? Because, let's be real, how long can a birthday party be? A couple of hours maximum, she's not going to stay 1 full day. I'm not entirely sure if I'm right or wrong, if this is a paradox or not, but either way, besides this, I am entirely sure, 100% undeniably sure, that Marinette is going to do something in the burrow. Maybe she will try to correct, let's say, what she did to Adrian, and she will try to maybe retrieve the butterfly Miraculous. Maybe she will not go as far to do something that serious, but she will try something for sure. I mean, we've seen in one of the images from Glob that Marinette is going to look at herself, and we also know from the end card of the episode that we are going to have more Marinette with the bunny Miraculous versions. For example, we are going to have simply Marinette with the bunny Miraculous, and then we are going to have Marinette as Ladybug with the bunny Miraculous. And from what I know, her name will be Bunnybug. Maybe I overreacted, she will not go as far as to change the past that badly, but I'm really sure that she will do something even small. Otherwise, the episode would be a bit pointless, because if we will simply have Marinette in the burrow as Barnix or whatever her name will be, where will be the drama, the tense moments? So for sure something will happen. Marinette is going to watch herself, maybe she will watch some of her old moves, maybe she will even want to watch herself in the future. Wait, I just realized this, wait, I'm having a revelation. Maybe Marinette will watch herself in the future to see if Adrian will forgive her for the secrets. That would be insane, and probably one of the best scenes from Miraculous, because we already know that Marinette has a lot of pressure on her shoulders, and it's understandable obviously. And the order of the episodes which we got until now is not for no reason. For example, we started the season 6, with the episode Illustrator, the second one. Then we got the third episode, Sublimation. And out of all the episodes from season 6, Marinette acted the weirdest exactly in those 2 episodes, in Illustrator and Sublimation. And this was not for no reason, because we know that there's a lot of pressure on her, and she believes that she's not good enough for Adrian, and that's why she's really scared that Adrian is going to leave her for someone greater. After that, we got War Papas and Daddy Cup, and Marinette was not acting as weird in those episodes as she did in the first 2 ones. Climatic Queen was something in the middle. We also got El Toro de Piedra, but my point is that recently we got the best episodes. For example, we got Revelator, which was one of the last episodes which was released. And in the episode Revelator, Alia found out the secrets about Gabriel, and she was extremely pissed. Even though Alia doesn't remember what happened, Marinette does. And this will play a huge role in the future, because Marinette now has a lot of opinions from others about all the secrets. The first one, as I said, was in the episode Relevator, and Alia was the first cobaye, let's say. Then we got another reaction from Luca in the episode 9, Mr. Agrest, which we got recently. And his reaction was way worse, because let's remember how he grabbed Viperbug, and he wanted to get her earrings. And he also said, I know something that you don't. And maybe Marinette will think about this, because she remembers the whole scene, even though Luca doesn't. Besides that, again, in the episode 9, we know that Marinette is having a lot of nightmares about Adrian being akumatized, or Adrian breaking up with her after he finds out what happened to Gabriel. She also knows how mad Adrian is at Gabriel from the episode 9, when Theo was akumatized into a giant version of Gabriel, and she heard Adrian's speech. Again, in the episode 9, Natalie grabbed Marinette and she told her that now it's too late to back up and they need to take the secret to the grave. Even Marinette said this to Luca, that she's never going to tell Adrian about all of this, and she will take the secret literally to the grave. So we didn't get all these episodes and all those scenes before the episode 10. We needed a build-up, and now this is the perfect occasion for Marinette to look in the future or try to change something from the past or maybe from the future to make sure that everything will be fine between her, Adrian, or at least for Adrian. As I was saying, I'm 100% convinced that Marinette will be curious to see the future, or she will try to change something, and I'm really curious to see what she will do. Maybe she will mess something up and then Bunnyx will need to save the day, because Marinette with the Bunny Miraculous being left alone there exactly in the position that she's now, with all those secrets, all those nightmares, all those reactions from other people, especially from her closest people, Luca and Alia. She's going insane slowly, and leaving her with the Bunny Miraculous is such a bad idea. These are my predictions, which what I believe will happen in the episode, so now let's get straight into the trailers and all the scenes. I'm trying not to laugh, but it's kind of impossible because what are those designs? I've been trying to record for the last 5 minutes and I kept laughing, so I will just keep it like this either way. The designs are kind of horrible, I'm really sorry. Especially the one on the right. It's so ugly. What's with the hair? Why is it so blue? It's such a light blue. What's with the lipstick? It's a dark blue while the hair is blue, and the combination between white and blue with the hair looks kind of horrible. I'm really sorry. It's probably Marinette's worst design, and on the right, the worst design out of these two is the one with the fusion between the Ladybug Miraculous and the Bunny Miraculous, I believe, because we have the circles. There are also some red accents, but you can't really see them on the picture because it's blurry, but trust me, they are there. And on the left, we have simply Marinette with the Bunny Miraculous, and she looks a lot better than the one on the right, but still, those two designs are in my bottom 5 from all of Marinette's designs. To be honest, I loved all of them. Even Pennybug from the season 4 finale was one of my favorites, even though everyone was trashing it. But this one is another level of horribleness. Okay, so who designed this needs to be fired immediately. But either way, let's continue because we have a lot of information about the episode actually in this poster. The end card actually, why am I saying poster? First of all, we can also see the normal Ladybug with the burrow. So we are going to have Bunnybug, which is Ladybug with the fusion, with the Bunny Miraculous. We are going to have simply Marinette with the Bunny Miraculous, and we are also going to have simply Ladybug. But where's Cat Noir? And why isn't Adrian in the end card? There's absolutely everyone besides Adrian and Cat Noir. What's going on? Besides that, Sublime is in a wheelchair. Why is that? The whole plot around the episode Sublimation was that Sublime and Adrian are running together, and Sublime is a runner. So now she doesn't have legs anymore and she is in a wheelchair? Season 6 till now has been amazing to me. I know a lot of people are hating on the new animation, but to be honest, I love it. It's a lot better and I prefer the show like this. And the quality of the episodes in general is a lot better. For example, the episodes Revelator, El Toro de Piedra, what else did we get? Extremely good. Even Dedicap, Mr. Agrest, which is in my top 5 episodes from all time. Even this one, The Dark Castle, has a lot of potential, the ruler, which was an amazing representation. So we had a lot of amazing episodes in season 6, so it's in my top seasons till now. Only season 4 is above it, just for now. Let's see how it ends. But one thing that I really dislike about season 6 is that the episodes are not in order, and I know it is easier to make episodes which are not in order. Thomas Astruc explained on Twitter that it is easier to sell a show to, for example, Disney Channel if the episodes are not in order. But for some reason it feels a bit weird because sometimes the costumes of the heroes, for example, are different because in Daddy Cup Sabrina had an outfit and then in The Illustrator she had another one. So I'm not entirely sure where this episode is placed. I'm not really sure if it's happening after all the events of the previous episodes, especially after Marinette saw Alia's and Luca's reactions to the secrets, because these are the most important scenes from the season. Or especially Natalie's scene, where she grabs Marinette and tells her that she can't tell Adrian about the secrets because now it's too late. So when is this happening? Where is this placed? Because if I would have known where this is placed, I could have made better theories. But now we can simply speculate. I know, each episode of season 6 is a piece of puzzle. Thomas Astruc said this. There are hints in every episode which will make sense at the end. Only the last 3 episodes of the season need to be watched in order. Obviously the finale and the episode before the finale. But in some of the episodes you can see that the order is different. And that's why they could have at least tried to make the episodes in the right order. Even though there's not an official order, they could have at least made sure that all the scenes are happening in chronological order and not leave us to put the pieces together. But overall the episodes are a lot better, the quality of the season is a lot superior and the writing quality as well. It's simply a lot better than the previous seasons, and some of the episodes here, if they would have had the old animation, for example, I know that people would have loved them a lot more. But because of the new animation, some people are not giving a chance to season 6, and it is really a shame because it's the best season till now. For me, the best one is season 4, simply because I'm very attached to the season. It has a certain vibe which I really love, but overall if I would have to pick a season which I would say has the best episodes per total, this one, season 6. Going back in the episode 10, we have a picture with Alex and her brother when they were little kids, and they are really adorable. And probably we are going to get some flashbacks maybe, or it was used only for the end card. But either way we will find out more information about Alex. This is her episode and I'm really excited because I love Alex as a character so much. As you can see, everyone, all the characters are at Alex's birthday, besides Adrian for some reason, and I really hope that there's a reason and they simply didn't forget about him at all in this episode. So this is all I could say about the end card, so now let's move on to some other images. What can I even say about this? It's simply Marinette in her bed probably, after the whole day and everything that happened. It's a happy ending for sure, even though she will probably mess something up as I predicted. She will manage to solve it at the end. And maybe this is before the episode ends. She's looking at some pictures with Adrian probably because she's facing her wall. And maybe she saw something in the future about her and Adrian being married. Who knows? And that's why she's so relieved. Or whatever happened in the episode will be fixed and that's why she's so happy. But she looks really calm somehow to the images on her wall. And we know that those images are with Adrian. And that's why I firmly believe that she will see something in the future about her and Adrian and she will be really calm because everything will be okay at the end. Now we have a miraculous alert from Glub, which kind of made me the most excited for this episode, because we can see Bunnybug, I guess is her name, Ladybug with the bunny miraculous, that amazing design, looking at herself, Marinette looking at Marinette from the burrow. And Marinette seemed to be sleeping here, or maybe she was crying, who knows, she has her hands on her eyes, but either way, Marinette is going to look at herself. We don't know if this is the past, the present maybe, the future. Wait, it can't really be the present because her present self is in the burrow. We don't know if this is the future, the past, or whenever this is happening. But at least we know that Marinette is going to be curious. she's going to look at some things in the burrow. She's not going to simply stay there and do nothing for a couple of hours. And by the way, this is what I meant earlier when I said that season 4 has the best vibes, and that's why it's my favorite season, because if you remember, and if you are a real Miraculous fan, you clearly remember that in season 4 we were getting a lot of Miraculous alerts from Glob, and in season 5 they stopped. I still remember the Miraculous alerts from the episode Wishmaker, which kind of revealed that Ladybug and Cat Noir are going to be hit by Wishmaker, and also that iconic trailer, which was released a couple of hours before the episode was released by Disney Channel USA, which spoiled that Luca is going to find out about Marinette being Ladybug and Cat Noir being Adrian. So this is what I meant when I said that season 4 is my favorite because of the vibes. You simply had to be there during those times. They were the best times of Miraculous, in my opinion. Moving on, now we have another trailer which is from the official Miraculous Ladybug channel. So let's analyze the teaser. First of all, we can see a really cute scene between Alex and Ladybug, Bunnix and Ladybug. And to be honest, I know probably some of you are going to hate me for this, but I kind of prefer Bunnix and Ladybug more than Alia and Marinette. I don't know, I simply love their friendship more, especially after watching the London special. I really feel like their dynamic is much more interesting to see. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate Alia and Marinette. I simply prefer Alex and Marinette. Then we can see some guards which are protecting the actual Dark Castle, because the akumatized villain will have a Dark Castle. That's why the episode is named like this. And in the last image we can see Ladybug and Cat Noir being terrified of something inside of the Dark Castle after defeating the guards. And why are they even so terrified? Did they see Aspic or something? Either way, I love the lighting a lot inside of the Dark Castle. It has some really mysterious vibes and kind of some horror undertones, and for some reason this episode has the vibes of the Pharaoh and Reunion combined. Maybe because Alex's brother was akumatized in both of these episodes and now he will be akumatized again, but that's how I feel about this. And I love this kind of vibes. I love when it's darkish outside. For example, Sandboy from the second season, it's one of my favorite episodes simply because it's happening during the night, the same as Glaciator. But now, let's move on to the last images, which are from Glob. We got a trailer and some separate images, but I selected the most interesting scenes because most of them were repetitive. These scenes are kind of insane, especially the one in the middle, but let's first discuss about the first image. Nathaniel is dropping the cake, and for some reason it will fall on Alex's brother, and maybe that's why he will be akumatized, because he really planned the whole party to go extremely well and he's mad because he didn't. And maybe Alex will be trapped inside of the Dark Castle because he wants to spend the birthday with her or something like this. But yeah, at least we are getting more scenes between Mark and Nathaniel, and after the episode 15 The Ruler, these are very needed because I love them. Now we have the scene in the middle, which is kind of insane, and I've been waiting to discuss about this specific scene because Marinette as Bunnybug tries to kiss Adrian from the burrow while he's at Alex's birthday. And why? Simply why? In the episode Sleeping Siren, Ladybug herself said that you can kiss someone without their consent, even though it happened in the show. For example, in Dark Cupid in the first season, and Ladybug kissed Cat Noir without his consent. But it was at least for a reason, let's say, even though it's still not okay. But now, what's the point of this? And I have a feeling, a really strong one, that she's going to mess a timeline up by simply doing this. And maybe this will cause Alex's brother to be akumatized because the timeline will be damaged or something like this. And yeah, only because of a kiss. But on the other hand, I know that she's 14/15, so it's not that big of a deal after all. They are still kids, they have time to learn. But for us, it's been 10 years, so we expected some character development. Even though Marinette had a lot, I'm not saying that she didn't, but this scene feels so out of place. I mean, Adrian will be there for a couple of hours. You can't resist to not kiss Adrian for a couple of hours, he's not that bad. Maybe she's dreaming about this, or maybe this is what she wants to do, but she won't actually do it. I really hope that this is the case, and she will not actually try to kiss Adrian because she can see him for a couple of hours, because that's kind of insane. In the last image we have the amazing design of Marinette with the Ladybug and the Bunny Miraculous combined, and what can I say? I already said my opinion about the design. In the animation form, it looks a bit better. I love the umbrella. The hair is still bad. I know that she has a very ugly lipstick. Still one of my bottom 5 designs, for sure. But maybe in the final animation it will look better, especially in action when she will use it in the battle. So I have hope that maybe it's not as bad as it looks in the end card. I have a strong feeling that the Dark Castle has much more to show than the trailers already showed. I have a feeling about this, and it's going to be a really plot heavy episode, so I'm very excited for it. Now we have the last images which we have for the Dark Castle. The first 2 images are from a TF1 trailer which we got a couple of months ago actually, I guess 2 months maybe. And the last image is really old, but I still include it because why not? So we can see that the akumatized villain will be a huge robot which kind of reminds me of Strike Back, but not as iconic as Strike Back obviously. I don't really like big villains in general because they seem to be really weak. Their only power is to be big and destructive. As you can see in the last image in the back, the museum is destroyed, and we know that each time something happened around the museum, it was Alex's brother who was akumatized, first in the first season, in the episode of Pharaoh, and then in season 5 in the episode Reunion, which for me by the way was an amazing episode, and I really have to say that is probably one of the most underrated episodes from all time. So obviously, because this episode is about Alex and her family, and because it's her birthday, it's centered around the rabbit Miraculous, and then we can see that something happened at the museum, and each time Alex's brother was akumatized, he was at the museum. Probably he's going to be akumatized into this huge robot or whatever he is. The first 2 times he was akumatized into 2 different versions of Pharaoh with different powers. But this time he looks really different, so I'm not entirely sure if this is even an akumatized villain because he looks more like a sentient monster. But we know that sentient monsters can no longer be a villain because of Argos. He's the one with the peacock Miraculous now, so the sentient monsters are no longer a problem. By the way, the last image is not really an image because it is a screenshot from a full clip, and in that clip Marinette/Ladybug had her hands on her eyes, which means that she just got out of the burrow, and because the burrow is really light, that's why this happened. So this is a villain probably from the future, because Ladybug will go through the burrow to go to this villain. Or maybe she doesn't really need to go in the future, maybe it's simply the present and she needed to teleport herself from the burrow, where she was supervising, to go and fight the villain with Cat Noir. So at least we have a confirmation that Cat Noir will be in the episode to fight the villain with Ladybug. But Adrian is still not in the end card, and this is really concerning. Maybe something will happen to Adrian, maybe he will be somewhere else and that's why he wasn't at Alex's birthday. It would be a lot worse if he was actually forgotten, because he's the main character after all. The show is named Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, not just Ladybug. Even though a lot of people are saying simply Miraculous Ladybug, and I have to admit that I'm saying the same, I don't really include Cat Noir in the title. But you get what I mean. Adrian deserves a lot more screen time, and even in the episode Mr. Agrest, he still didn't have the most screen time, even though the episode was supposed to be about him, and him rediscovering himself in this season. And he's still not the main character. Finally, about the release dates, first of all the episode 10, The Dark Castle, which we discussed about today a lot, will be first released by Glob on 10 October at 7:45 PM Brazil time. You can easily calculate what time will be for you, because obviously time zones exist. Then, after a couple of hours, it will be released by Disney Channel USA, and on 19 October it will be released by TF1. Then we have the episode Reckless Driver, which will be released on 8 October, so before the episode The Dark Castle. And I know on the screen it says 12 October, but remember that all the episodes which are released by TF1 will be released first by TF1 Plus 4 days prior. Then we have Yaxi Goes On 22nd October, Noe on 29 October I guess, or 4 days before 2nd November either way, and then Miraculous Tokyo on 29 November in English dub. We discussed so much today, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe, because I'm going to keep you updated with all the news about Miraculous Ladybug Season 6, and I will see you soon.